welcome to this preview of the Premier League, the upcoming match day. I didn't even check the number. What we see here, this is my own tree of my Betmaster tool. You can get your access to this tool when you click on the, see in the description below how you can get access. And here I build my own tree of the leagues that I'm dealing with, and if you do so yourself, you can select search by countries or by leagues and then add them here and check those little boxes, and then you'll get the selection of your games. Of course, this should be described in more detail. If you had any questions, you could always contact me, and I'm happily going to answer and hopefully can help you. And so you can get all you see here in these videos, you can get on your own screen. You can get my evaluations. If you know any better, you can do your own personal individual settings. This refers to all the parameters that I'm working with and that are responsible for the compilation of the prices. Now, as soon as you have this tree, what I do is here select this one single league. So I'm gonna view the Premier League only. And that's pretty okay if the computer did not compile prices yet. If it's done so in some instances, I'm also not unhappy for the moment. I'm going to compare these prices with my bookmaker. This is Betago. Here I had my selections for the games yesterday. Actually, the screen is not really working so well with this browser. I'm not sure what the reason is, but I hope we can see the prices here and we can do our selections. I do not want to see them now because I would like to compile them in my head. If Manchester City, there is a price already, 139, sounds okay. In the Tottenham at West Ham, this does not sound so well. We can check here when I did compile that. So on the in August that was. So if I compile this once again now, then the chances should be a lot better. Like that, you could see how the adjustments of the team strength, of the power ratings, or whichever term you prefer for that, you can see how they take their effect, how they affect the prices. We remember 130, 169. I guess it should be better for West Ham now. 341 is the true price, 130, 169. We compile this game anew. And we have obviously now even already West Ham as slight favorites, which I would consider market would do similarly. If I compile this game here, 139 sounds okay. Manchester City had been very strong in Bruges, if you saw that on Tuesday, winning 5-1, very, very impressive. And they can beat anyone, you would figure. And 139 sounds like a proper price. Brighton also with a good season so far, campaign. That's even 158. Well, this does not sound so well, whereby Brighton in fact are doing pretty good. I mean, this I may have adjusted settings here or there. Also concerning Brighton, whereby Manchester City most likely I won't have changed much. I can do this compilation now. I mean, 158 I would guess is a bit too much. Market will be more likely around 140, I would assume. So this is what I usually do. This is my usual work, that I compile the prices in my head. Usually I have an idea how the teams are performing. At the moment I'm pretty busy with plenty of other things, whereby watching sports and watching football is part of, still part of my daily work, if you want so, but I'm not so focused on these leagues at the moment and not on the professional gambling, if you want so, because I want to promote this tool. I do not deny this, and I want to promote it, but I want to improve it as well. So I'm trying to really get a well-working tool for all of you, so you can beat the market, which I consider is a lot better. This approach, you ride your own luck, is a lot better than giving tips or making proposals. Also, I'm doing it partly here, but I'm also having all those restrictions when I say, well, this price, they are in very good shape, maybe they are better, maybe you know better, maybe there are players missing, and so on. So you can, well, you can take my evaluations and still adjust them. And so I figure, of course, Arsenal will be favorites, but the question is, because Aston Villa are pretty good and Arsenal are still struggling a lot, it's not such an easy game. It should be under 2.0, but 190, 185 even, or, well, prices like this, even 2.0 is not out of the world. 193, this sounds like, well, pretty close to what I said. We didn't compare it to my market yet. I guess we won't find a bet here, but we will check this in a second. This is my regular daily work that I've been doing for 30 years. I try to compile the prices. I have the tool. I have an idea in my head. I have the market there. Then you still have the chance to look up the price right now, and then you still have a development, and then you can even over time, because things might change, market might make up its mind. It's also the big money movements and so on. So all this part of the work I'm not doing at the moment. I have to admit that. Still, I think the computer, the tool, is doing a pretty good job here. Okay, Chelsea, that's ridiculous. That should be under 1.20. I would say 114, 112 even is possible here. And market won't be, that's even 124, little surprise, but Chelsea not fully convincing, whereby Norwich are so weak that well, this sounds like a bit too much. In the Crystal Palace, Newcastle, but I say the price market, there's always some margin in some sense, right, that I say this is the true price or it's market's price also. If I talk about 114, 112 even, then maybe this is more reflecting even what market thinks, but we will check in a second. Crystal Palace against Newcastle, well, they are pretty even teams at the moment. Home advantage should be something like 230, 220, something like that in England. In the Premier League, I don't see much wrong with this evaluation here. 216, well, this is around 220. Newcastle really not looking so good at the moment. Everton, Watford. Everton are a bit difficult to evaluate. Of course, they would always think they can approach the top, but not in the top 6, of course, not top 7, but maybe somewhere there. But 8, 9, 10, that would be fine. Watford are pretty weak, but they won the game, I think, away to Norwich. Well, at least they are not awful at the moment. We can always check that here in the table as well. When we can, Everton are closing in here, so to say, 8th place now, 14 points. I'm not so firm with these tables at the moment, but Watford with 7 points, they are away from the relegation zone, but not by far, of course, but still below a bit expectancies. So we can, well, the price should be anyway something around 160 maybe, 160, true price, maybe even 165 possible, but we will see also what market thinks. 179. Well, so I went a bit up slowly but surely, but 175 or 179, that's 170 is goal expectancies. Anyway, sounds like maybe a bit too much, but market, if the computer would advise us to go with Watford, we will see. We don't want to support them because they are below expectancies maybe. So Leeds, Wolves, tough one. It should even be Wolves ahead now, but not by much, of course. Over 2.0, 230 maybe, something like this. Leads are too well. Computer still says, or my tool settings still would guess Leeds are ahead. This doesn't sound quite right to me. I mean, Wolves should be slight favorites here, I figure. Also, market would think so. Southampton, Burnley, interesting one. Southampton always well respected by market. Burnley doing okay, but that should be below 2.0. But with the computer confirmed, computer will be above 2.0. Market a bit below, I guess. That's 223. That's all. Now we will compare with market. If the computer wants us to go with Burnley, we can check that here as well. Burnley 18th place. Well, are they doing okay? That's far away from being doing okay. But Southampton always a bit behind. But market always respecting them. -4 goals still looks okay, because as soon as here are green figures, it means that is not so terrible, right? 3 losses is okay, 10 goals only conceded, and so on. So I guess my evaluation of the game, market, and so on will be okay, and most likely computer would advise us to go with Burnley, which we possibly wouldn't do then. Leicester now with a very good win. I was very impressed early on when they lost 0-1 to Manchester City. I thought they were doing well up for a good campaign this year, but didn't confirm that. They didn't confirm it, but they beat Manchester United by 4 goals to 2. So very good effort. Brentford doing very good, but Leicester should be favorites, but over 2.0, but only slightly. But that's a tough one to guess. It should be over 2.0, 2.1. It sounds okay to me. We will see what market thinks. Manchester United, Liverpool, the match day closing with this spectacular, with this great clash of the Titans. Are they the record title holders? These two together. Chelsea, Arsenal are not close. Tottenham far away. Manchester City nowhere near, I guess. But England, high tradition over plenty of years. But I would figure they are still the top sides with a record. Win the Premier League titles. And or not Premier League, but also the England, All England Lawn Championships. No, All England, what is it? UK Championship. Anyway, Manchester United are no favorites here. It should be pretty even, but I would even guess Liverpool could be slightly ahead. And tool market, I'm not so sure. This is very even, but computers still would say Manchester United very, very slightly ahead. Very even game. Anyway, we can check that. Manchester United here, they favor Liverpool. They are too strong at the moment. That was my impression too. Atletico was a bit tough one who watched it. They were 2-0 up very early on, very beautiful goals and so on. But then they conceded 2 red card against sending off against Griezmann, and then they won 3-2. But I'm not so well. 190. That was exactly computer price. 193, I think. 117. Market agrees more or less to the 124, and it's this winning margin. 114 was a bit too low, but 117 not a huge difference. Crystal Palace slightly below 2.0 sounds very good to me, because we had slightly above 216, 340, 412 are the true prices on X and 2. There won't be a bad 360. Well, now the computer would start again with these draws, maybe. Everton 163, we had 179, I think. 390, that could be okay. This is the here I want to check the draws maybe at some point, right? We have 22 draws in 80 games. That's a true price on the draw of, I'm using, I want this of course in the tool, but it's not done yet. That's a true price of 364 for a draw. So if we bet on a draw, well, we should always have that in mind, right? That's the average price they played at. And so if it's 340, 360, sounds okay. 340, maybe a bit too low, but if the teams are close together, then maybe still fine. Of course, who wants to bet on the draws? Everton 390, that's what I was checking. Could be indicated 364. It's the next one. At the moment, the computer, as I adjusted this with the draw, the draw adjustment, that's the one thing I adjusted within the tool. I want to make that user driven, and you can still drive those parameters, but it's not realized yet. At the moment, it's relying on my own figures, but as you see, the draws are coming, so they are usually coming too many in all the other leagues as well. So in that sense, we understand that the computer agrees to this draw here. In the Leeds, even market still trusting Leeds, market in this game Leeds Wolves, still trusting Leeds, so we wouldn't have an indication. I thought it would be Wolves slightly ahead. They are not doing so great, but so there's more or less agreement. The 334 could even be indicated. I mean, computer wants draws now. We can check that once again with the even with the what I expected, 22 draws, the 360C, 364 price on the draw is there are slightly too many compared to what I expected. So we could somehow confirm these draws, but of course they are not huge margins, very small margins. Then you do not. Well, how do you win draws? Do you watch a game and wait for a draw? This is hard to to watch it like this. And at some point, one team are going to score a goal, and you think, oh shit, I need a goal for the others. Then you want the others again to score if they are trailing. Also, it's I do not like it. So and who likes it? But this would be mathematically, of course, betting like that, right? Southampton Burnley. I was right that my computer was a bit too high on this home price. The 331 are the same story here. There is a small indication. We discussed that 360. I was showing that average price is 363. We would be somewhere around this price here as well. So would we guess it's a good bet? I don't know. Here I was right with the Man City around 140, maybe even 145. Was pretty close. We had the 158 now, which is of course, well, we wouldn't have a bet. Maybe here even the draw would be indicated 470. Here it's getting a bit. There's also the chance of adjusting this following the difference between the teams, which is not done yet. But you can check this button here. I think, where is it? No, we had to go to the team settings, but there is one button that we can check. So it's adjusting the draw probability according to the difference between the teams. So in this case, it should be, as it's a bigger difference, it should be a lower draw adjustment. I wouldn't wish to bet this. If you like it, you can do it. Brentford Leicester, pretty even. Okay, computer would like to propose now the market very much respecting this Brentford, which I also do. They won promotion, very good side. I saw them. This Matthias Jensen is from Denmark, right? You saw the European Championship, and I saw him last season already playing for Brentford. But there are other players as well, and performing really, really well, while Leicester are still struggling. But this win, of course, was a, well, 13.28 expected. So one more win, maybe they will come closer to what had been expected. But they are very green in all figures, while Leicester are pretty red still. So maybe we would rely on market here. If we want to do adjustments to that, we could even look at the teams rankings here, which you can see also. And Leicester are, of course, still above average, while Brentford are still not maybe where they should be. If you think this is wrong, which I would agree now, I mean, I heard this from the first match day, and we can simply store this here, and and we can recompile this game. And Premier League, which one was it? The figure, So, and now we will see that the game is going to be a lot more level. Still, Leicester would be indicated. Well, now we could also we can compile the price when going into this game here right away, and just say for this one game, well, after Leicester won this game, we could say they are actually in neutral shape. The 4-2 against Man United and some potential in the team, but we could still say, man, this Brentford are so good. So we can also adjust this plus 13% because they are simply doing so well. And why would you say, no, this is gonna end now, this good run? And now we should come very close to the proper evaluation. Now if I save it here, we don't have to bet on Leicester. If you like it, I'm not saying this is silly to bet Leicester. Who would say so? They have a good side, pretty good. Maybe even for the Champions League is very, very tough this season, right? With all them, right, making. Manchester City, Liverpool anyway. Chelsea, where's the difference? And Manchester United as well. Very, very top there. So who could break this? What is it? Circle. West Ham, Tottenham. Well, computer changed its mind, and now even said they are favorites. This 274. Here we might even, if I have nothing else to check, but they are not doing so well. Who would like to bet Tottenham at the moment? Where are they? We have to check this. 5th place, 5 wins, 3 losses. Not so great. But 15 points would be fine. But 9-12 goals, that looks terrible, right? But okay, now I would even maybe, do I change my mind? They do not make such a strong impression. And they are playing against West Ham, right? This must have been the pairing. Yeah, and West Ham are of course doing very well, but this is not so much better than what Tottenham are doing. Even in table, they are a bit behind. The +5 goals are very good. I have to say, if you look at the goal difference, that's one thing to give you a very good idea, right? Because goal difference, somehow it's right, you can win a game 1-0 and then lose another 4-0 or 3 games you win luckily maybe by 1 goal and you lose 1 heavily, which also might not tell the whole story, but still it would reflect a bit better. And here Tottenham are no good while West Ham are very good. So but still, I do not mean Tottenham are still a good side, wouldn't you say so? And Manchester, even if computer would suggest something, I would stay away here. I was already, even in the last night's match, computer was pretty even against Atletico as well, because Atletico's Spanish side very good and also very well defensively, and it wasn't the game itself. If you saw that, they won in the end, but the sending off was maybe responsible, and there were parts in the game when even Atletico looked a bit closer, but they won in the end. But then I said already, man, Liverpool, they look so strong. And the 225 was the same price. Appeared to me even maybe as if it was playable, and it would have been a winner, but I didn't propose it. But I would stay away because I do not like Manchester United so much. Ronaldo back and forth, but I'm more convinced by Liverpool. So sometimes you can also just talk to your tool or to your bets. So this would be all I could find out here for you for this match day. And I thank you very much for watching, and I replied to the comments if you have any, or if you would like to otherwise get more information about the tool or get in touch with me or this whole approach also, you're very welcome. Okay, so thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.